Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. Last time you saw us, or saw me at least, I was in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And we haven't uploaded a video since then. Whoops. And we thought rather than just like jumping back into it, kind of picking up in real time, there's been a lot of life that has happened, some things we wanted to update you on. So we thought we will get back to like real life, real-time vlogs. But first we should do like a sit-down life update video.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're going to do today.
Like Adam said, there is a lot that we're gonna kind of catch you up on, but the last time you did see him, at least, he was in Washington, D.C., so how did the rest of your trip go?
The trip was good. So you guys got to see the donut tour. You got to see the White House, some of the other stuff. That was kind of our one free day. Mm-hmm. We did do some other stuff in the evenings to kind of like get out of the conference. We went and saw the National Mall. We had a hilarious rickshaw ride that Sherri's heard all about. Maybe we'll tell that full story on a podcast someday. It was a really good trip. It was a lot of information. And so I feel like I came home more tired than I went. It definitely was not a vacation. It for sure was a work trip. Mm-hmm. It was really good. My takeaway, and I think I said this in the vlog, but I definitely told it to Sherri as I was like walking around the National Mall, seeing the monuments. It baffles my mind that we haven't gone there together.
Yeah. Of
all the places that we've traveled, mm-hmm. we are both history fans. We both love like monuments and historical places and museums. Mm-hmm. And so how have we not gone to DC?
And I've never been.
I don't understand it.
Which I think is a crime.
I think it's a crime as well. And so like that was one of the takeaways was that, okay, as we're planning, hopefully 2024, at least in the next couple of years, mm-hmm. we need a Washington, D.C. trip with us.
Yeah. That
has to happen. So my trip was really good. Came home, was pretty tired, and actually it worked out well because I got home kind of near the end of a week. And one of the things that we had planned was our second screen-free day on, mm-hmm. like, just a couple days after I got back.
Yeah, so you got back, like, Thursday afternoon.
Yes.
And our Saturday was our screen-free day that we had already put in the calendar.
So we're trying to plan these out ahead of time. Mm-hmm. You may remember, I think it was last month we did our first one. It's just a 24-hour period, no screens, no devices, just trying to unplug and just kind of connect with each other and just sort of go without, like, technology.
Yeah.
How did it go?
I think it went really well. I think we were both kind of commenting that the first one that we did, so the last one we did was, mm-hmm. We almost felt like the day was so long. Like, we got so much done. We were so productive, but we also had so much, like, downtime and rest time. And this one didn't feel like that. Mm-hmm. It felt different. Like, we still got a lot done, but I don't feel like we had as much like downtime, which could be, I feel like the projects that we tackled were just bigger projects. Yeah, so we went through all of our cabinets in our kitchen. I was trying to count how many. All of our like pantry cabinets. Yeah, like the pantry cabinets, and 4. We ended up getting... And our refrigerator. And the refrigerator. We ended up getting 3 or 4 boxes of food that we took to the Food Bank of Alaska. Mm-hmm. Got rid of a ton of stuff. Mm-hmm. They look so much better. Yeah. And I do think that was one of the things, is this just took us longer. It just took us longer. It was just a bigger project than like just our pantry, because we have a very small pantry and mm-hmm. just one. So we did that last time, and this time we tackled 4 cabinets. Yep. And our refrigerator. So it was just more. Mm-hmm. Still, I'm really glad that we did it. I am excited to do it again. I think it should just be a monthly thing for us, just one day to completely unplug, just have no screens. I love it so much. Mm-hmm. I look forward to it. I'm excited for the one next month. Yep. And yeah, so we did that. Mm-hmm. On that day, I want to talk for a second about books. So, you guys know, Sherri's the reader of the family. I will never come close to snatching that crown. You are clearly the reader of the family. Oh, and just so you know, we'll get in a little bit to why Sherri sounds like this. We're going to talk about all of that. Because that's how I sounded last week. On No Screens Day, did I start reading that book, I think? Or did I finish reading? I don't remember if you started it or finished it.
I finished it. That's right. I finished it because I had started it before my trip.
Because you took it with you.
I took it with me.
Right.
So Sherri's recommendation, I started reading the Inheritance Game series. My reading goal for this year was 10 books. I finished 9. I was looking for my 10th book. And I want to brag a little bit on myself. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So I fell in love with this series. And in the last 8 days...
As I knew you would.
You were so right. In the last 8 days, I have finished 3 books. It's like almost 1,000 pages. Which is a big deal for me. And I'm started on the 4th book already. So basically, on our No Screens Day, one of the things I did was just read a ton.
Yeah.
In fact, the 2nd book in the series, I read in a day, 24-hour period. That does not happen for me.
Yeah.
So much of my No Screens Day was spent plowing through this book.
I think he actually read more than I did.
On that day?
Yeah, because I spent some of my no screens time drawing.
You did?
I did. So I drew some. We'll talk about a little bit of that in a little bit. But so I drew some and I read. And while I was drawing and reading, he was just reading.
I'm on book number 4 and I'm making my way through it. I'm loving it so much.
Which I have not read yet. So we were talking about, like, I don't know that this has happened before.
In our whole marriage.
Where I've recommended a series and he will finish it before me. Because I've read the first 3, but I haven't read the 4th one.
You know what I'm doing?
I haven't patting yourself on the back.
Patting myself on the back.
I'm really proud of you.
And
I'm so glad that you found a series that you love so much.
Here's the problem. I am already grieving the end of the series. And it's funny because you've talked about that a lot in books where it's like, oh, I'm getting close to the end and I don't want to.
I don't want to be done.
I don't want to say goodbye.
And you're always just like, you're weird.
But no, you get it now. I get it now. Right? 100%. So, we had our screen free day. Screen free day? Screen free day.
That.
And then the following week was something very important. Sherri Beth's birthday.
It was my birthday.
How was your day?
It was good. I turned 21 times 2.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm double the age to drink, I think is.
So
I get 2 drinks.
You get to drink twice as much because you're 21 times 2. I think that's the rule.
Pretty sure. It was a good day. It was very low key. I did work that day in my office, so not even at home.
Not even at home.
It was good. It was just low key, and he wasn't feeling well. He started not feeling well on like Monday or Tuesday of that week.
Yeah.
My birthday was Thursday, so it was, you just weren't feeling great. And you were like, I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to share it. And I immediately started like the airborne and the Zicam and like.
As soon as I got sick.
Right. As soon as he got sick, I was like, oh. And I woke up on my birthday with the the scratchy throat, and I was like, oh no.
Worst birthday gift ever. It's like, hey, what'd you get Sherri for her birthday?
A cold.
A cold. Sickness.
Right.
And so I am mostly better. Not totally better, but I'm mostly better.
Yeah.
I was telling Sherri this weekend, I feel like I am past the sickness part, past the cold part, and now I'm just dealing with like the remains of it.
The hanging on stuff.
Still got some stuff going on there.
Yeah.
You can still hear Sherri's got her sniffles.
My sniffles and my scratchy throat.
Yeah, but you're feeling better?
I am feeling better. Yeah, it's mornings and evenings are rough, but like most of the day I just kind of sound like this. Like I'm just sort of.
Remember that year that I got you sick for your birthday?
Yeah, you did also get me a Helix new piercing. I had this piercing, but you got me a new jewelry.
There you go.
It's the word was like, I don't know what word I'm looking for.
I was asking Sherri what she wanted for her birthday, and with Sherri, normally, well, I never really know what the answer is. The answer is normally books and something else. You know what I mean? Or, I don't know, sometimes you have like a specific list, or you have a Pinterest board with things you want, or a Barnes & Noble want to read. But this year, you just answered me so quick.
This. And I showed her my phone.
She was like, I want new jewelry for my Helix. Now, I didn't know what that was. And so I thought, I'm sorry, God bless you. Did you sneeze? Like, you want new jewelry for your what? Apparently, this piercing is called a Helix piercing. And you wanted this specific kind of jewelry that curved around the inside.
Yeah.
And so we went to a jewelry piercing place. You picked out exactly what you wanted, and that's what you got.
That's what I got.
And sickness.
And sickness.
Which gift do you like more, Helix or sickness?
I mean, this one's gonna last longer.
I hope so. Oh my gosh. I hope so. Okay, so after we both got sick, that's kind of, I think sort of brings us up to, like, today a little bit. And there's a few other update things we want to talk to you about. Let's talk about Halloween.
Let's talk about Halloween. It's coming up.
In the past, us and our friend group have done, in my opinion, some pretty iconic group costumes.
Epic.
We have done Alice in Wonderland.
Killed it.
Killed it. I think my favorite one we ever did were the characters from Inside Out, which we did amazing.
Yeah.
This year, our group costume is...
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
I'm so excited.
So you, Kim, and Desi are going as the Sanderson sisters.
Yes, we are.
You've already got your costume.
Which fits us very well.
Which fits you very well. The costume looks amazing on you, by the way.
Right.
Kim's husband, Sarkis, is going as...
Billy Butcherson.
I really need to watch this movie to understand it.
Watch this movie.
And I, naturally, you'd look at me and say, who would Adam be? I am Binks the cat.
Thackeray Binks.
Thackeray Binks. I have a big black cat costume that came today, and I tried it on, and Sherri just stood in the middle of the living room and laughed at me. And I thought, I guess that's good.
And then we texted the group, like our group chat, the pictures, and Kim also said she was crying and laughing.
I feel like people look at me and they think, you know what? That's a Thackeray Binks. That guy right there, that is... It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be epic. It's going to be great.
We're going to our friend's house. We're going to hand out candy to kids all the day. We might hand out some adult beverages to parents who are trudging through the Alaska snow, maybe. Because let's talk about that for a second. So, Hocus Pocus. That's our Halloween costume. You guys will see all of that stuff. Let's talk
Alaska
snow.
did get me a birthday gift. And I was angry and I demanded it take it back.
The morning of Sherri's birthday, I'm actually meant to talk about this on your birthday, but we'll fit it in now. Morning of your birthday, you wake up, and what happens?
Well, so I woke up, and he was still sleeping, and I knew he wasn't feeling well, so I was like, I'm just gonna kind of get ready for work, and like, quietly do my thing, and, you know, kiss him goodbye before I leave. And, so I was in the living room, and he came out, and he was like, did you look outside? And I was like...
You knew that meant. Like,
as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, I have not. Nope, sure haven't. And so he opened the curtains, and I was like...
Snow.
A good inch of snow. Not just like this tiny dusting, like snow. No ground to be seen. It has since melted.
I was just going to say, the silver lining to this, it has since melted. The weather's been beautiful lately. We're having, like, it's sunny blue skies. It feels like fall again.
It feels like fall.
But it was like a reminder where Alaska was like, hey, just remember, I'm in control.
I was so mad, and I was talking to Cruz, one of the guys that I work with, and he was like, you live in Alaska, like, what are you complaining about? I was like, but it is my birthday, and I have a fall birthday.
Not in Alaska.
I don't have a winter birthday. He was like, well.
That may have been true in Indiana.
I know.
In Alaska, you can be born in June, and if Alaska decides you have a winter birthday, you have a winter birthday.
Then. Yep, I
know. So, Halloween costumes, snow. You had mentioned work stuff. Let's give a couple work updates. You have now been in your job for
7 months,
which is crazy to think of.
A little bit over.
How's it going?
Really good.
You haven't been fired.
I haven't been fired. They seem to be very happy with me. I am certainly happy with all of them. I am really, really enjoying it. More than I expected to, I think. I didn't really know, I think, what to expect going into it. Because it is a new job, you know. You don't never really know. But I have really been enjoying it. I've enjoyed the work. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the environment. Last week we had to do this, like, self-evaluation kind of thing. And, I've never had to do anything like that before, and it was interesting, I think, and I appreciate working for a company that cares about that. Like, they want to know what I think about how I'm doing, and then that goes to my manager, and then she actually comments on my comments, and so, I just actually really appreciate that, and that I work for a company that cares, I think, about that. It's really, I appreciate it. I love it.
I have enjoyed watching you, and so many of you have commented about this in the comments, just about, like, just the difference in Sherri with this new position. And some of that, like, you start a new job and you kind of expect, like, this honeymoon period where it's like, okay, the first You know, yeah, you enjoy the first 2 months, but just wait. It's a job.
It's a job.
But I love that, like 7 months in, you've made it through your first full summer season with Princess Cruises. And you genuinely, that glow that I saw, like even in the beginning, hasn't gone away when it comes to like your work.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
And I think that it's like, it's challenging. So the work is challenging, but not so challenging that I don't feel like I can do it. Like it's just challenging enough that I feel like I'm constantly learning and like pushing myself, but I'm not like, I can't do this job or I am not built to do this job.
And you talked about, we just talked about like with your review thing last week, how not only that you know you can do the job, but you feel like the people above you believe in you and give you the space and the trust to do it as well. They know you can as well.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I love it. Sherri has not yet let me steer one of the Princess cruise ships, drive a train, or take out one of the buses.
Correct.
I'm concerned about that. It doesn't have the benefits to me that I had hoped.
Well, sorry.
It's so funny because like every now and then I'll be able to have like lunch with her. We'll talk at lunchtime.
He's like, can we just do this on a train?
I was like, hey, if I come down there and bring lunch, can we just like take one of the trains out? Can we just take one? She's like, that's not really how it works. I'm like,
not how
why?
it works. I'm sorry.
Come on. So, no train driving yet.
Dang it.
Work for me has actually been really good. We were actually talking about that earlier this evening. We've been super busy with work stuff lately, and kind of in the nonprofit side of things. We have our big fundraising sort of gala event coming up in, just a few weeks now. So a lot of work going into that. We already have hundreds of people that have signed up to host tables. Well, I think it will be our biggest event we've ever had, which is amazing. I am teaching, tomorrow night at a bookstore, which is super cool. And then
a
little bit jealous, yeah.
I can't go.
And then I'm teaching a training this weekend out in Wasilla. And then Monday I get on an airplane and fly to Sitka, Alaska for a few days. Teaching down there with some, I think some people from the FBI that we work with are going to be there, and have just kind of been all over. But it's been really good. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm doing things that I love and I feel like I'm good at, and I'm enjoying. So, middle of a busy season, but I can honestly say that like I feel really good about it.
And the end is in sight.
And the end is in sight.
Yep.
It was actually, it felt more daunting a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
When we had Washington D.C. and Homer and so many other trips. But now I'm feeling good about it. So work stuff's going, I think, really good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go to Sitka next week. I've never been there. Well, no, I take that back. I have been there for work, but I think it was just like, I got off the plane, I literally went to one meeting, and then flew back out. So
I don't know if that counts.
I don't know if it counts either. So I'll be there for a few days with my team. Excited about that. Another update. Let's talk fresh ink, Sherri.
Let's talk fresh ink.
You guys know we love tattoos.
Probably a little bit more than we should.
Honestly.
Yeah.
You just jumped into the tattoo pool.
Yeah.
And you are loving it.
I am. Yeah, so, and that's actually what I was drawing on our no screen day. So my sister and I have decided that while we are in Indiana, we are going to get matching tattoos. But we want to draw them, and she's artistic and I'm artistic, so we have our idea and we know what we want, so we're both going to kind of draw and then see which one we like best and if we can like mesh or whatever. So that's kind of what I was drawing. I hate all of the things that I've drawn so far.
You don't like any of them?
Not one. Not one.
What do you think about giving the idea to a tattoo artist and just saying, here's kind of what we want, could you draw this?
Yeah, we might. I want to see what my sister comes up with and if she's got better ideas than me. Because we know what we want, we just need to draw it. And we found a picture of a tattoo of it, and I don't want to like take the tattoo to the tattoo artist.
You want something that's like custom and it's yours.
Yep, so we're kind of trying to like recreate, and I am not happy with any of mine. So we'll see what Lisa comes up with. So that's kind of what I was drawing. But we also...
Well, before you move on from that, so you and your sister are like, oh, we're going to go get sister tattoos. And Eric, who is Lisa's husband, and I we're like, awesome. We would also like some tattoos.
Sign us up for that too.
Sure.
So all 4 of us are actually going to go.
Hey, we'll go as well. So all 4 of us are going to go get tattoos.
Double date getting tattoos.
You and your sister are going to get matching tattoos. I think I know what I'm going to get.
Eric knows what he's getting.
So group tattoos. Group tattooing.
I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for that too.
Yep.
So we thought, because that's in November, coming up soon, we thought that, that'll be our next tattoo. But then, we think we're going to be able to get this week.
Sooner than expected, but I'm very excited for it.
Some of you guys will remember.
She has openings.
Some of you guys will remember. So it's a friend of ours, daughter, who just started as a tattoo artist. But her work's amazing.
Really good.
And you will remember when we went to the Celtic Festival here in Anchorage, Galway Days, this past summer. We got those words spelled out in that like ancient Celtic language. I can never remember how to pronounce it. So Ogham. Ogham or Ohm? Like Ohm or
I don't know. Ogham.
It's like Ogham or Ghem.
Ogham, I think.
Nailed it. And so you have a word that you're getting tattooed on your body in that language. I have a word I'm getting tattooed on my body in that language. And fingers crossed by the end of this week, actually, maybe just very shortly after this video goes up,
correct,
we will have new tattoos.
Yes, I'm very excited. And we'll show those on a vlog.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And we'll explain what they say.
As long as we don't get them...
didn't say... I think we might have said what yours said, but we did not say what mine said.
Mine says kindness. We didn't say what yours said. We'll show them as long as we don't get them in risque places.
I'm not getting mine in a risque place.
I'm just joking. Can you imagine getting the word kindness in like an inappropriate... Sorry, not in our notes.
No.
So tattoos this month, hopefully. Tattoo next month, hopefully. And then how many more tattoos do you want?
Oh gosh.
You have a list of so many.
I have a list of so many, exactly what and where I want.
Yeah.
I just need to start saving my pennies.
I was just going to say, our tattoo budget, I think in 2024, might be ridiculous. So there's that. And then I think the last thing, it's okay. You're sick. I got you sick. How can I be mad at a sickness that I gave you?
Well.
Every time you cough, I feel terrible.
Every time I cough, I feel terrible.
I'm like, oh, I did that to her. Good job, Adam. Great husband. A lot of you guys have been asking about my mom.
Yeah.
And so we just this past spring, diagnosed with cancer, went through her chemo journey. We've kept you in the loop on all of that. It's been a little bit since we've talked about that. So her chemo is done for now. And they have her on something called a PARP inhibitor. And PARP inhibitors basically exist to do one thing, and that is delay the return of the cancer. She started those last week. Battled a little bit of nausea, but she seems to actually have that under control with that. Talked to her earlier today. Talked to her most days, which is awesome. And she's doing pretty good. Blood tests recently look good. We don't have signs that this is returning or anything like that. So, it's crazy. In fact, it was really funny because I talked to Mom a couple days ago, and she was dealing with some nausea. And one of the things that she said was how, the hope to get the nausea under control, because one of the things they told her kind of in her PARP inhibitor 101 class was whatever symptoms you experience, tell us, because those symptoms, you might have those for 2 years as you're going through that. And it's crazy because my first thought was
2 years.
They think my mom might be here for 2 years? And
in March, we didn't know she was going to make it to June.
No, and so it was the craziest thing, because she was talking about I don't want to have these symptoms, but I was just Mom might be here for 2 years. And so it's like, oh my gosh, what an amazing, change of mindset from where we were a few months ago.
Yeah.
I want to tell the Sandy story. Yeah. Can I? Yeah. This is so great. So some of you guys know Sandy Carter. Sandy and her husband Rob, they watch our channel. We went and had coffee with them on one of their visits to Anchorage. They live in Ohio. They are people who watched our channel who have genuinely become friends. I mean, just friends to us.
Yeah.
And through Sherri's sickness and through just all of the seasons of life, they have been so kind and so sweet to us. And Sandy asked kind of early in my mom's cancer diagnosis and journey if she could have my mom's address. She wanted something to send to her. Now, the vast majority of people I say no to. I have people send us stuff, and then we get it to my mom. We knew Sandy and Rob. We have been with them and their family. We trust them inherently. And so I asked my mom, and yes, of course. And so Sandy and my mom have built this like little relationship through my mom's sickness.
Like writing letters
back and forth. And Sandy has sent my mom some of the most just thoughtful gifts. And so my mom calls me maybe a month ago or so. And she's like, all right, Adam, is this weird? Which my mom is like a hippie from the 60s. That question could go a lot of directions. And so I'm like, all right, what is it? She was like, Sandy had mentioned that she and her husband were going to be in the Denver area for Rob's work. She was like, I was thinking about inviting Sandy down to Pueblo to my house so that we could meet in person. If you've seen Adam's video on Pueblo, you know it's a great little town. Would love to have you come visit. She's like, is that weird? I was like, well, maybe. I was like, but I think it's great. Like, ask. Yeah. And so my mom wrote a letter. Also, I just love that they write. That's my favorite thing. She wrote Sandy a letter, and Sandy ended up going down, and while they were in Colorado, Sandy drove down, and her and my mom
hung out for a day.
Went to lunch. Yeah. I got a text with Sandy and my mom, and it just it warmed my heart more than I could ever possibly say.
Yep, I love it so much.
Oh my gosh, it was just so cool. Yeah. And so there have been, cancer sucks, right? It just, everything about it sucks.
Yep.
But looking for these silver linings and these just pieces of gold in the middle of lots of mud and murkiness of something like cancer. And that to me is a piece of gold.
Yeah.
So cool.
I love it.
So that's what life has been like for us.
Yeah.
It's been good, but it's been a lot.
Ups and downs.
Ups and downs. We need Sherri to get better.
I'm working on it.
You're working better. I can tell you're feeling much better than you were.
I am, for sure. Yep.
So friends, there you go. We're going to get back into normal life vlogs, bring you back into the just kind of real time with us. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to bring my vlog camera to Sitka. Even though a lot of what we'll be doing down there is work, I'm hoping to have some free time, even just to go out and show you some of Sitka, because it'll be new to me.
I've never been.
You've never been?
Nope.
I don't know how many of you guys have ever been. So I'm hoping to, even if it's just like in the evenings after work, to take my camera and just go show you some stuff. But friends, that's our life update. We love you all so very much. Thanks for sticking around as the last couple of weeks we haven't uploaded videos. We've just taken some time off.
Yeah.
Since I got Sherri sick.
You got yourself sick. Well,
and then I got
something got you sick, and then you shared.
I feel so bad. She'll be upstairs at her laptop working, and she'll be like, and I'll be down here. I'll be like, I'm sorry.
I will say my cough in the morning is way worse than it is now. It's like this wet, my entire lungs are coming up, and it's just this is how it go.
I know.
This is it.
In the mornings when I hear her cough, I'm just like, I guess I should start on that eulogy. What in the world is going on?
So it's much better now.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. Worst birthday gift ever. Guys, we love you so much. We'll see you on the next LeggLife video.